just a quick start, how many people here are involved in screen printing on a regular basis at work? Okay, so a little more than half, 60%. All right, thank you. So one of the things we're going to talk about is about how the market is going finer and finer and what all that means. But let's take a step back and ask, why screen printing? Why is screen printing a good method to put deposition down on really any substrate? And the answers are pretty clear. This is not new information for a lot of the people that have been screen printing for a while. This will be a little bit review for you. But you know, the reality is screen printing is the only deposition method that you can change the deposit thickness or the amount of material that you're putting down. You can change it relatively easily. And I'm going to show you how in one of the next slides here. There's a relatively low cost to starting up. If you want to do bench testing with screen printing, you can get a screen, some clamps, a squeegee, and you can get some pretty quick, you know, down and dirty results very quickly without any high-end equipment or automation. I mean, you can scale up to get to that, but to get some very quick results, you hear a lot about screen printers starting in their garage and things like that, and in the graphics and textile world. So you can get some quick results. They may not be as precise as what you're going to end up as, but you can get some feasibility done very quickly and very cost effectively. You can get materials that stick on pretty much anything. You know, the paste technology and the adhesion promoters and there's all kinds of, there's a whole industry on making ink stick. And so you get a lot of choices on what to print on and how to do that. Then once you're dialed in, your deposit can be very consistent from run to run, from day to day. This is beyond the bench now. This is in full production. But screen printing is a very consistent process, again, once things are dialed in. And lastly, it can be a very quick process. So it's not the highest speed printing process, but it can be quick enough for a lot of the manufacturing that's going on today. So when we're talking about the varying your deposit, the main thing that meters that deposit is the mesh. And most of the discussion today is going to be about wire mesh. And so I just put up a couple numbers here on how that range of deposit happens. So mesh is usually identified as a mesh count with a thread diameter. In this case, wire mesh goes from a 30 mesh, meaning 30 threads per inch, with 165 micron thread, all the way up to a 730. Actually, it's a little bit higher nowadays. It goes into the 900 range with wires in the 9, 10, 11 micron range. Those are the really extreme ends. So with that, you can go from about a 200 micron deposit all the way down to 6. Okay, these are not final numbers because the mesh isn't the only thing that plays into this. You've also got the paste. If you've got a paste like water, it's going to flow. Or if you've got a paste like or Vaseline or honey or something like that, it's going to stand up more. So there's a lot of variables. But just looking at the mesh, which again is the main metering device that determines what your deposit will be, we've got, we go from 5, 6, 7, right, under 10, all the way up to over 200. So that's one of the main reasons. None of the other major printing processes offer that level of range of deposits. If you wanted to double things up or triple things up, you have to hit it more than once. In screen printing, we're talking about one hit here. So that's really one of the things that sets screen printing apart, and will continue because no other process allows that. So I'm going to step back a little bit here and just talk about the mesh itself, because it's important for you when you're talking about screen printing. It's important for you to identify it as not just the mesh count, but also the thread diameter, because the thread diameter also plays into the thickness quite a bit. And a lot of times, we've been in the mesh world for a long time. A lot of times, customers will just hit the mesh count because that's that's